We've got a huge batch of new television on DVD releases to go through here, so let's jump right in. First things first, we have True Blood, the complete second season. Of course, this is HBO's hit vampire series, and if you love vampires, you will probably like this series quite a bit. Keep in mind, it's a little bit darker than your Twilight and your Vampire Diaries, and by a little bit, I mean a lot. This is a show that really doesn't hold anything back. It's filled with violence and language and sex and nudity and blood drinking and all sorts of vampy things. It's a pretty great show, though, you have to admit. It just, I think, kind of fits a certain audience best. You have to like things that go a little bit beyond sort of the regular television sort of approach. And if you do, well, then that's what HBO does best, and that's certainly no different here with True Blood, which has really ramped things up in the second season. New characters, new alignments, new loyalties. Things change a lot in the second season, and while most of the characters end up intact at the end of the season in terms of who lives and who dies, there certainly is no shortage of surprises as things go on, and it really sets the stage nicely for a pretty epic third season. So definitely want to check out Season 2 before Season 3 premieres on HBO very soon. Now, on Blu-ray, True Blood looks and sounds pretty fantastic. Again, it's a television show. You're not getting quite the same level of high def you do from, say, the Avatar Blu-ray. The picture looks great. Colors are well saturated, and shadow delineation is very good, which is important since most of the show takes place at night. In terms of extra features, you get enhanced viewing on every episode, which gives you all sorts of fun little tidbits and flash forwards and character perspectives and things like that to kind of really enhance each episode. And then there are some extra features that are more kind of in the universe of True Blood. For example, you get the Vampire Report Special Edition, which kind of goes over the past year's biggest news stories in the vampire world. And then the Fellowship of the Sun Reflections of Light, which is sort of rules to live by with the Fellowship of the Sun leaders. In more making of terms, what you really get are 7 commentaries with the cast and crew, and that does include pretty much everybody who's anybody on the show. So True Blood Season 2, definitely worth checking out, even more so on Blu-ray. Next up, we have Drop Dead Diva, the complete first season. One of my most pleasant surprises from last TV season. It's a story of a model who gets reincarnated in the body of a high-powered sort of lawyer, and kind of has to take this two personalities of this anal-retentive lawyer and this ditzy blonde model and mesh the two of them together and go out and win court cases and have relationships and all sorts of things. It's one of these shows that really blends the comedy and the drama well. It involves good legal cases, but also a good amount of character development, lots of humor, some romance, a great supporting cast, so it really is a lot of fun. Don't let the fact that it airs on the Lifetime Network throw you off. It's not just a chick flick. In fact, it actually reminds me a lot of Eli Stone. If you like that show, you probably want to check this one out. Brooke Elliott, the lead actress, is utterly fantastic. You've probably heard some praise for her by now, and it's all well-deserved, as she is really just something else. So definitely want to check this show out. In terms of special features, you get some deleted scenes, what they call dreamisodes, and a behind-the-scenes look at the making of the show. So it's not overflowing with extras, but it's a fun show that's definitely worth checking out. Next up, we have Nip Tuck, the 6th and final season. Still not the biggest fan of this show. I find it a little too dark and a little too disturbing at times, but it certainly is a quality show that's well written and has some fantastic performances. If you like the show, you're going to want to see how it all ends, and while some of the storylines certainly do go a bit over the top, I think it's a pretty fitting end for a show that was always a little over the top, in my opinion. In terms of special features, what you get are basically a psychology behind plastic surgery special feature, a featurette, and that's about it, which isn't really kind of how you would hope. You'd think maybe kind of more of a retrospective sort of featurette or something kind of wrapping the show up nicely would be included here, but unfortunately that's all you get. But you do get all 19 of the show's final episodes, so those of you out there who have been collecting the show on DVD all along, there's no reason to stop now. Next up, we have TNT's hit drama Leverage, the 2nd season. Leverage is a pretty cool show, I have to admit it. It took me a while to warm up to it, but I like the cast a lot. I like the whole sort of con aspect of it. You know, I like seeing these characters kind of create new identities every week. And even though it has some flaws, it certainly is an enjoyable show. I do like seeing Tim Hutton in the lead role, and of course I always like Christian Kane, although I wish they would cut his hair. And of course there's no shortage of easy on the eyes female leads either. So Leverage is a lot of fun. It's not a perfect show, much like most of TNT's television output, but it certainly is worth taking a look at. In terms of extra features, you get a number of things. You get the creators of Leverage question and answer session, a set tour with John Rogers, a Behind the Boom featurette, a spoof video, a music featurette, a Season 2 Rap Party gag reel, and every episode comes with an audio commentary, so that's a nice bonus. Next up, we have Leave It To Beaver Season 3, the complete third season. It's a 6 DVD set including 39 episodes of the classic sitcom, and what's nice is they're all completely remastered, so even though it's in black and white, the episodes pretty much look better than you've seen them look over the past 40 or 50 years. I always liked Leave It To Beaver when I was a kid. It's one of those shows that I really enjoyed, even if it's not necessarily kind of what today's audiences are looking for in a show. It certainly has its place in the kind of canon of television history, and as such, it's fun to kind of go back and watch it. I'll tell you, it's a limited dose kind of thing. I can watch 1 or 2 episodes at a time. I can't sit there all day and just drown and Leave It To Beaver. It isn't the most original show in the world. There's not a ton of plot development or twists and turns, but it's fun. It's kind of wholesome. It certainly is a classic, and it's great to see these characters again that I grew up with, and I imagine a lot of other people did as well. I grew up with them, of course, in repeats and syndication, not when the show originally aired, but it certainly is fun to kind of go back and revisit it. Extra features on this set include an audio interview with Jerry Mathers and Frank Bank from a internet radio show called Stu's Show. But again, you get about 17 hours worth of episodes, 39 episodes total, so it's a pretty good package for the money.